Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. We are here with Clash Royale, and we got another episode of Everything Royale. And we're going to be discussing this graveyard deck that's being pictured, and we're going to show you a couple of highlights of how it's used in the challenge mode. And we're going to show you specifically one replay on how it does against the deck that I showed in my last video, which was the Pekka Minor Zappies Royal Ghost control deck. So that deck is real beast and is very popular. This one here counts pretty good against it, and we'll show you that in the replays. So let's check it out, folks. All right, so before we go into our highlights, we're gonna explain the deck. It consists of the cannon card, the tornado, the log, the ice wizard, you know that's my favorite card, the graveyard, the poison spell, the mega minion, and the ice golem. The average elixir cost is 3.4. Once double elixir cost time comes in, this deck cycles very, very well. And we're gonna go into those highlights now. All right, so here goes the deck, folks. So as we always do with our deck videos, the first replay will be me explaining how to use the deck, and the second replay will be play-by-play commentary, all right? So the ice golem is going to serve as your primary tank. You could also use the mega minion as a tank as well, but ideally your mega minion will be what's going to counter against miners. Your goblin barrel as well, even with the log you can do that too. It'll also help you counter against flying machines and basically anything that's, you know, air and ground. Along with the ice wizard, both cards provide you that luxury. The cannon card you will use once you have enough support. So if you have an ice golem in front of it, mega minion, then you can drop it down. It'll be great against buildings. It'll be great against tanks. And it provides you a lot of value for 4 elixir. I mean, my mistake, for 5 elixir. Now the log, you will use it against the goblin barrel, against the prince, the princess, the dark prince, any type of zappable cards. You use the log instead, because again, like I said in the last couple of videos of mine, the log has provided incredible value now, and it's okay not to have a zap inside your deck, because the log does the same thing, gets it done. Only downside I could see is maybe when you're going up against a Sparky deck, but you got the mega minion here, you got poison spell, you got the tornado, you know, you can get creative. Now this deck does play 3 spell cards, but trust me, they serve a great purpose in the deck, because the tornado will allow you to bring everything into one location, allowing your cannon cart, ice wizard, and mega minion to do a lot of damage to those troops. And also the poison spell obviously belongs in every deck right now. It just gives you that luxury of pushing. Having a strong push and then dropping down that poison will help you against so many defensive cards that will stop what you're doing. And again, it helps you defend against the graveyard. Now in this deck, we also have the graveyard. It will help you in a situation where you got a Pekka and you want to protect your cannon cart. You can take it out just like we did there. You can also use it against a golem. You know, for 5 elixir, the graveyard is mighty powerful. And yes, ideally you want to use it offensively to just top off your push, but you can use it defensively as well, like we did in this replay here. Now the cannon card also gives you so much value. Again, I say this twice, because it functions as a regular cannon, but before that, it's going to keep moving across the field. As long as the ice golem's in front of it tanking, or the mega minion, it's going to continue hitting whatever's in the path until it finally loses that armor and stops. So it's an incredible card, and I think very underused inside the current meta. Now we're going to do play-by-play on this replay here. Now this match here was pretty crazy, because we paired up against a pretty tough deck. So we're going to play the ice golem in the back of the tower. Again, you're leading your pushes with the ice golem. You'll follow up the mega minion. That way you have something that could counter against air and also counter ground, because the ice golem is really just going straight to the tower. Also provide you the ability to kite too. So there you use the Tornado. It allows the Mega Minion and the Ice Wizard to do some damage. That time around, it wasn't as fluent as I wanted it to be, but you get the point, right? It would have been able to complete the task at hand. Now, you also could drop down the Poison defensively to be able to do damage to Wizards, Night Witches. Just be careful when you place down the Poison. You saw the mistake I made. I missed the bottom tip of the tower. You want to get as much value as you can. So if you can defensively counter against cards and also do some chip damage against the tower, then that's effective. Now here, we're going against the log. We'll use the log. We'll throw it against the prince. Again, we got the Ice Wizard. We got the Mega Minion. And then we drop down the Cannon cart with another Ice Golem. So you see how we're able to cycle cards pretty easy? So now we got an Ice Wizard, Ice Golem, and the Cannon cart is able to do damage against the Wizard. It'll get frozen right there and destroyed, but it's fine, right? Because it took out the Wizard, so that's like a wash. Now, back to the play-by-play. It's so easy to drift from the play-by-play because I just like to really explain things to you guys thoroughly. So we'll drop the Ice Wizard in the back of the tower. And then we'll follow up with the Mega Minion. And then we'll drop down the Poison. That time we got it on the tower. It does damage to the Night Witch. And then paired up with the Mega Minion and Ice Wizard, we can do some more damage. Now that we got the Cannon cart rolling, we'll drop the Ice Golem again. And it's going to do damage against this Cannon cart. And we'll drop down the Poison spell to give our graveyard more support. Now the thing with the graveyard is you got to make a count, right? That push right there wasn't perfect with the graveyard. However, I saw the Wizard was locked onto the Cannon cart and everything else. So I figured let me try to see if I could sneak that graveyard in while the Cannon cart will take out the Wizard. Sometimes you can really finesse it. That time it wasn't really smooth, but we got damage done. So there we pull the Tornado, pull everything back. It gives us additional time to create our formation, but we're also able to do some damage. So right there, the Cannon cart was focused on by the Infernal Dragon and Wizard, so we can throw in the graveyard, right? Because the focus is away, and we can use the Tornado to pull in the Night Witch, allowing all our Skellies to come in and do damage to it as well. Again, use the Cannon cart to counter against the Prince, because you know the Prince is very meta right now. We'll throw the log to hit the Archers and the Night Witch, and the tower will be able to chip away. We'll drop down the Ice Golem just in case so the Archers can get distracted. Now that the towers are locked on to the Ice Golem, we'll throw the graveyard again, and we'll drop down the Poison to do damage to the Night Witch and the Wizard. Being that we're in overtime, you want to be a little more aggressive and trying to get this win, but you also want to be able to defend. So we'll log the Prince, Cannon cart locked on. We're going to defend the Cannon cart with the Ice Golem, which allows us to take out the Prince and the Archers. And now we could drop down the Ice Wizard, because remember, you're cycling like crazy. Again, the Wizard is distracted. We're going to throw down the graveyard. That Night Witch is a little too far to help. We'll throw down the Poison. We'll take it out. And you see we did massive damage. And we're going to log in there just in case. So now we're down to 44 HP on that tower. Now we play smart. We know that if we throw everything we can to defend, all we need to throw is one more log and we win the match. So now they split lane, go to the opposite direction. We'll throw down a Mega Minion and we'll defend against that Prince, and we get the win. So that's basically how it works. Deck cost is super cheap. I think that is the most important part about this deck, is that it's only 3.4, and during double elixir time, forget about it. You're going to have enough support for your Cannon cart. The Cannon cart is probably, next to the graveyard, is your most important card. Because while everything is focused on that Ice Golem and Cannon cart, your graveyard is going to sneak in and get damage done. And if you're not successful, remember, you can still drop that Poison and use it defensively to counter against those cards, and maybe create an opportunity for your graveyard to do a little more damage with that 1 or 2 elixirs that, one or two skeletons that survive. So that's pretty much how you play that deck. Again, this was a requested deck. One of you subscribers on the channel wanted a graveyard deck. Took us a while to find a good one, but this one here I thought was pretty good. And I like to test it out in challenges to see exactly how it does against the meta decks. So folks, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to slap a like to appreciate the content. And hit that subscribe button for future Arena, Valor, Clash Royale. And on the weekends, we're doing Fortnite. But soon, we're going to be rotating. So we're going to be doing Fortnite and Fortnite Mobile. And then we might do some PUBG Mobile too, because it's supposed to be coming out on the Canadian Google Play Store. So I'm going to figure out a way to get that on a device so we can put that on the channel as well. All right, folks. So other than that, appreciate the support. Peace out.